Thank you, Riaz, and thank you, Shilpi ma'am. Okay, you made my presentation easy actually, and you covered all the topics which I am about to say. Okay, so it is like this. Now imagine a scenario where we are and where we are moving towards. Okay, people are saying artificial intelligence is going to change this thing, change that thing. Okay, when you look at me, I'm a pharma guy, okay, with around 25 years, and since last 13, 14 years, I am with artificial intelligence, okay, doing this, performing these artificial intelligence and agentic AI, MCP, whatever the new technology you speak about, we do that. But okay, when it comes to drugs and drug discovery, we keep on saying like 12 to 15 years of research and $2 billion. That is, everybody knows that. Okay, all the people are already covered that. So what I'm going to say here, like, can we create some drugs that we never imagined? Okay, let us imagine what is the space of drugs, like how many drugs, how many molecules we can imagine. Okay, if you look at the space of the drugs, it is 10 power 60. 10 power 60 chemical compounds are possible if we can really explore. You can imagine the number, okay, and look at the computing power, or okay, till now what we discovered from the humanity, like from the day one of the humanity till today, what we discovered is only 10 power 8. And look at the scope. Look at the scope. 10 power 52 is still, that means like whenever I am doing research, or whenever I am doing some experiment, okay, after 8 points, let me 0.0000, that means after eighth point, I consider that as rounding error, even in my experiments, right? So here, that means I need to consider like 52 points, rounding errors. That means we till now explored very less. Very less. I can say like, okay, negligible molecules. But still we are surviving with the existing molecules, and there is a huge scope. But how can we explore this? Okay, three things which can help us. Okay, and currently in the scenario, like, why, okay, you can ask me like why people didn't explode all these things, whatever you are saying, 10 power 60, why didn't people explode all these days, what they are doing? There are three constraints which we have. The first constraint is computing power. The second constraint is the algorithm. Third constraint is the people who are comfortable with technology are not comfortable with the drug discovery. People who are comfortable with the drug discovery and clinical research and all these things, they will never write code, or they will say like, okay, this is not my cup of tea. Okay, now bringing these two people together and using the huge computing power, we can break this chain, like, and we can explore new medicines, and we can create new medicines which are never existed. That is what my point to say here. Like, these things you already know, like thanks to Riaz and Shilpi ma'am once again, they covered this. $2.6 billion and 10 to 15 years of research, and 90% of the clinical trials what we fail. Like, imagine like when I worked in clinical research, okay, recruiting a patient is also a difficult part. Identifying the patient and identifying the site where I want to perform the clinical trial is a huge part. Huge difficulty was there, like in 2000, 2005, 2000, up to 2010, what I am saying. Now, I can use my artificial intelligence to identify like these are the areas or these are the sites where I will get more patients, and these are the patients which suits for this particular clinical trial. And whenever I am submitting my CSR, clinical study report, after completing my clinical trial, previously we used to take around 1 year to create that clinical study report. Now I can reduce the clinical study report time to 3 months. And people, in the discussions, people curiously asked, like, 10 to 15 years after implementing AI, how much it is reduced? Okay, is it really become to like 2 to 3 years? You might have heard Dr. Sridhar Babu saying something. Okay, it is not the reality. Actually, preclinical trials goes for 6 years. Like that means drug discovery takes around 6 years. After implementing AI-assisted drug discovery, we could able to cut down that into 18 months, not 6 months or not 2 months. We could able to bring that down to 18 months. And other question also came here, like when different people are working differently, like everybody working silos, and there is one answer, Sarji, for that. We are proposing something called federated learning, where we can share our thoughts, where we can share our data. Even though IP is there, still we can share our thoughts, where we can do that. Maybe we can discuss that down the lane. Imagine this, like the old way of finding it out, like it is screening millions of molecules. Instead of screening those millions of molecules, imagine like your AI system can generate new molecules. This is what we are thinking, like generative chemistry. And somebody asked me, like in the previous sessions, somebody asked, like, are there any proofs like these drugs are really been created? Yes. Okay, if you look at Rentocetab, which is already there in phase 2A. Okay, it is already there. So these molecules are being generated, are being tested, are being preclinical trials. Everything they are going through, and they are in phase 2 trials. It is real. We are not in the imaginary world. Okay. And there are multiple companies working. Okay, I can take those names, like Isomorphic Labs, and even our Rehan sir said, like Centella is also working, in silico medicine is working, Recursion is also working. All these companies are bringing new drugs into the market. Now what we need to do is, you need to understand, you need to develop these skills. Okay, if you are a student, if you are a drug discovery person, learn some AI skills. If you are an AI guy, learn some drug discovery skills. Then definitely you can help. Not only, like whenever we are working with drug discovery, or whenever we are working with healthcare, always say to ourselves, like, okay, every day of your work is going to save somebody down the lane. Whenever I spend my 1 hour in writing an algorithm or writing the code, I keep on saying that to motivate me, like, if I can find one drug which I can cure one disease, which is going to save some thousands of people down the lane. Okay, this gives you motivation, and this gives you, like, luckily we are in the current space and current time, we are in the current, current opportunity is also enormous. We have the computing power, and luckily people who created these, like, imagine, some time back, protein folding was a huge problem for us. Okay, now they given us AlphaFold. Learn how to use AlphaFold to identify the right target. Then generative chemistry algorithms are there. And one more thing is like all these data sets are freely available. Just you need to do some modifications on that and some shaping on that and bring that into shape so that you can work on that. Somebody claims that I don't have enough data. No, data is available. You need to bring that into shape and start working. So now the question is like, what I will say, like, stop complaining and start asking, like, which disease do we cure now? Are we ready for that? Let's talk about like which disease we want to cure right now. Thank you all. Thank you. I could able to finish it in my given time.